Hello you guys, welcome back. I'm just gonna clear the space, ask that whatever messages come through are for our highest good, and that whoever need to find these messages find them in the perfect way and time. Just calling the energy of Mary Magdalen. And we'll see what we get today. All right. Let me shuffle here. I'm just seeing if I pick up anything before I pull the cards. I will say that there's been a real shift lately, at least personally, and things feel lighter. Like I'm not drawn to do this like heavy duty, hardcore healing and trauma, and I'm feeling called to like more joy and more playfulness. And so I'm sure that a lot of you that are feeling that will resonate. That sometimes you graduate from a certain chapter and it's just not the time for that. And that's what I'm feeling lately. Feels like a rebirth. And that not all healing is heavy. Like growth can happen in a way that's also very joyful. It doesn't have to always feel like hard and difficult and sad. But I do notice that a lot of times in the spiritual community that people get like addicted to being in pain, and it's like they can't pull themselves away from it. It's very seductive. But let's see what the cards say. That's just what I'm picking up initially here. Let's see, we're getting... All right. We are getting, first and foremost, the anointing transformation. And this is Mary and Yeshua sort of head to head. Then we're getting the desert rose. True love cannot hide. And she's behind him, sort of leaning on his shoulder with that penetrative gaze. And lastly, we're getting positive flow, divine inheritance. And it looks like she's giving him energy healing in the crown chakra. Let me just see what I get from these before I look in the book. Wow, I just feel such a strong connection for some of you guys out there in partnership. Even if you're not in a relationship right now, like what's meant for you is a really beautiful healing relationship with a person that maybe you both have healing gifts, or maybe one of you have healing gifts, but you probably both have healing gifts. I'm strongly feeling it for some reason with these two cards. Like, not only do you probably have healing gifts, maybe Reiki or energy work or massage or other psychic intuitive gifts, like there's something very healing about this connection. And I feel that together, it's like you're more powerful together, but I don't want people to think that that doesn't mean that you're not powerful individually, because you are powerful whether you're single or in a relationship. But I'm just getting this like amplification for some reason from these cards, particularly because it says, let me just plug my computer in, particularly because it's saying that, you know, true love can't hide. So even if you try to hide from it, or if you try to run from it, or if other people aren't in support of it, I'm getting that it doesn't matter. It's almost like love wins. But you also have to choose love. So you can also avoid it. And that's why for some reason her gaze in these cards is giving me the energy of like, I see the truth, but also like in a relationship like this, like you can see through each other. And so sometimes when you are called to a path like this of conscious relationship, of sacred union, it's really intimidating. It's really confronting because you are transparent to the other person. And, you know, everybody has their own work to do, but there's something really beautiful and also very confronting about a partnership where everything is visible and you're both like intuitive. And both parties are usually very psychic and very, very attuned energetically to each other and to sort of the world, and also psychically. So there is nowhere to hide. Now, that's why a lot of people, even when they feel that they're drawn to this conscious relationship path, stay in situations or in other relationships that are more status quo, or, you know, where they can hide. It says true love cannot hide. Now, I did this. I was in a long-term marriage. This was a long time ago, but I was there because it felt easier in some ways. But then my soul was crying out loud, like screaming to get out of it, only because, not because it wasn't a good person, because it wasn't the right, I was destined for something else. So when I finally ended that relationship and then I experienced something very different, I was like, oh, got it. This is why I needed to leave that. Like I was hiding. But true love can't hide. So yeah, I'm feeling like the message that if you've been trying to hide or stay hidden in a job or in a situation or in another relationship where it's not as confronting because the other person might not see you that clearly, they don't want to. Or you're with a partner that doesn't see themselves clearly because they're in denial. And so it's convenient in that type of situation because you don't need to be as honest. Because neither person's being honest, because if you were honest, it would ruin the whole, it would dissolve the whole relationship would fall apart because it's not based in truth. It's based in inauthenticity or in avoidance. You can't avoid anything in this type of connection. Look how she's staring. And the eyes are just blazing right through you. But she's nuzzled up into his chest. I don't know. I feel with a lot of these connections, there will probably be interference. There will be people that try to get in the middle of it. There will be situations that look like obstacles and roadblocks. But at the end of the day, if it's meant for you, it's going to keep trying to find you. You know, the universe will keep rearranging the chess pieces so that things shift and change so that you have opportunities to choose a different path. Sometimes things just fall apart because you're not meant to be there anymore. I don't know why I'm getting this hide and seek feeling that like maybe you've been playing hide and seek with somebody, both of you or one of you more than the other, and it's like you both want to find each other, but for some reason someone's been hiding, or you've both been hiding in different ways maybe. This won't be for everybody. I'm also just feeling with these cards, like she's holding this oil, this anointing oil by his heart chakra, and there's something about touch and the touch being very healing. So it's like her touch might be very healing for him. So maybe your touch is very healing for each other. Or if you're like the feminine aspect, like maybe your touch is very healing for this other person, especially if it is a man. But not necessarily, you guys. I work with a lot of same-sex couples on this path, which I love because, this is not just for straight people. So just so you know. There's a lot of heteronormative language out there for people that talk about this, and they're very fixated on a man and a woman. But like I actually work with a lot of like women couples, and I believe it is because we're here to balance the feminine and masculine polarities, right, in ourselves and on the planet. So we all have that energy within us. And I feel I have a good mix of both. So I'm just feeling here for some reason, like with the touch, there's a heart awakening. There's a healing. There's like a deeper layer, a deeper level of healing that happens through the touch, which is why it's sacred sexuality, right? Because it's not just sex. It's like the intimacy and the connection spiritually and emotionally is so powerful and rooted in unconditional love. It's very healing. It heals you. It heals traumas. It brings things to the surface that wouldn't otherwise come to the surface. As I said, the contrast is that in a relationship where you're hiding or can hide because the other person has no interest in seeing the real you, because if they saw who you really were, it wouldn't be convenient anymore. The relationships are not, these types of relationship of convenience are not built on truth. They're built on denial, they're built on avoidance, they're built on inauthenticity. So if you're to become the truth of who you are, the whole house of cards will fall down. A lot of people don't want to see their partner because they don't want to see themselves in the mirror. So they don't see their partner beneath their own projection of like, this is what works for me. That's enough. I don't want to go any deeper. It's a lot of people. But you're not destined for that type of connection. You're destined for a connection where you're fully seen. But people will say to me a lot, I want to be fully seen in my relationship. I said, can you fully see yourself when you're at your most disgusting, at your darkest, at your worst? Because if you can't be with your own stuff, you're going to have a very hard time being quote unquote fully seen in a relationship, because guess what? That person's going to fully see you, and you can't lie to them, and you can't bullshit, because it just doesn't work in these types of connections. You both are too intuitive. You see through one another. It's beautiful and it's work. I'm telling you from personal experience, it's both. I wouldn't trade it. I would rather have depth any day of the week than a surface level inauthentic relationship, but it's more confronting and it's harder sometimes to be fully seen, because then you have to fully see your own shit. And you're going to have to fully see theirs and still love each other. And it's not hard. Like when you have this type of connection, it's not hard to love one another. But that doesn't mean that the shadow stuff is always easy. All right, let's just see quickly what the book says. I feel like the messages came today without the book, but we'll just see if we get another little wink in here. The anointing says transformation. Infuse spirit into matter through ceremony. Oh, okay. When done with conscious intent, ritual is powerful, and you become priest or priestess, evoking the divine. It says, when Mary Magdalen anointed Yeshua with fragrant holy oil, he was forever changed. It was considered that direct contact with the divine was made through this ritual. It was a sacred promise and an act that led to transformation. As part of the ritual, she broke the sacred alabaster jar containing the oil so it couldn't be used for any other purpose. In both Hebrew and Greek, Christ means the anointed one. Protect your altar and ritual items by putting them in a safe place. You are a priestess or priest in your own right. Okay, let's see 19, the desert rose. To keep your love secret will be difficult. Like the rare desert rose, people will see it and sense it. Some will share your joy, and others will be unable to overcome their shortcomings to be happy for you. Yeah, it's so true. It's saying you're going to be led out of the desert and out of danger. This is the power of love. It can inspire, restore, heal, and lift your vibration to the highest levels of existence. Mary and Yeshua would have been absolutely illuminated in this state of love. But their alliance may have also caused jealousies among some others, as they couldn't share their bliss or know how to create it for themselves. Find something, if not someone, to love and cherish. Whatever will raise your frequency to a strong place where negative energy can't dwell. Hold on, I have a message there, but let me just look at the last one here. It says, divine inheritance, positive flow. Balance your energy patterns. A healer may help direct energy flow, or you might be trained in a modality that accomplishes this. Share your gifts with others. And it's saying Yeshua trained Mary Magdalene in these energy healing techniques so they could work their healing miracles side by side. And energetically, we're all connected and affected by each other's fields. So it's saying to also take care and protect yourself. Okay, what I feel here is that number one, like it said, ritual is very powerful. And so if you're not in relationship, it's saying to also protect your altar, to make sure that your space is protected. But what I'm getting from this anointing card is that your intention is also very powerful. So for some reason, I feel like this is also meditation, like in your practices, to really hold an intention clearly in your mind. It's more powerful than you think. And hold on, I'm getting a few messages. It's like your work around union, or your spiritual practice around conscious partnership and all of this, like that can be your sacred thing. Like it can be private for you. You don't need to necessarily share it with other people and tell people what you're doing. Some people aren't going to understand. But I feel that it's like you have to raise your frequency also to start to align with a different timeline. Like you might be still aligning with a timeline of like pain. And so maybe it's time to lift your frequency a bit more so that new doors start to open. I don't know if I shared that in the beginning, but I've been feeling that lately. It's been feeling a lot lighter, but it is a shift. It's a difference. To not have to do all the quote, like work doesn't have to always feel heavy and hard. Neither does growth. Sometimes growth happens through joy, through pleasure, through play. This one really sparks I was feeling this one very viscerally, like True love can't hide. It's going to be difficult to hide your love. So if you have a connection with somebody, again, this message is not for everyone. I know that some of you guys out there, like, there is no one in your orbit, so you might not relate to this. But if there is, and maybe you're not together yet, I'm telling you for sure, firsthand, there are definitely going to be people who will be very triggered by your connection. And that is part of the plan, and it's just what happens. Love, real love illuminates the shadow, and it will trigger people's insecurities and their, like I said, their jealousy, their envy. And also, if you've been in a situation where it's been convenient for the people around you, and then you're, number one, you're visibly uncomfortable, like you don't fit in anymore, or people can tell that you're not happy where you are, or maybe you're in a relationship, you're not in love with that person. It's getting hard to hide how you really feel, is what I'm hearing. So like I said, if you're in a situation, like maybe you're married to someone or you're in a long-term commitment, but it's not your like destined, it's not your spiritual partner, it's a soulmate, but it's not the person that you're meant to be with. Like, it's not your life partner, or it's not intended to be your forever life partner. It's getting hard, I'm hearing, to hide how you really feel. People can sense that things are off. People can feel you're not right. They can feel you're not happy. But I think maybe in the past it was easier to hide. Like, I know for some of you guys out there that are older, like for example, and I know because I work with some of you, like that your children are in college, and now it's becoming hard to hide that you're not in love with your partner, even if it's the mother or father of your child or children. So regardless, it's getting hard to stay in the shadows. You're not meant to be there forever. You're not meant to be hiding. Not indefinitely. Yeah, I'm strongly feeling it. It's almost like if you had spirit guides, they're kind of also staring at you being like, how much longer are you going to try to be, how much longer are you going to stay in the shadows? It is what it is, you guys. You're destined for something different. Many of you are destined to be in conscious partnership, but you're going to have to let go of quite a few things. And many of you will have to dissolve family units in order to align with your partner. The partner may not come immediately, so you may have to leave a marriage or leave a comfortable, convenient situation and free yourself up first. Because it's also not meant to align with like infidelity. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, because that does happen sometimes. But I feel like for many of you, you're past the point where you need to get into like misconduct, like sexual misconduct and unethical stuff. Like, you don't need to do it that way. If you're meant to be aligning in union at this point in your journey, I feel like many of you, you've already transcended those patterns. You're not meant to go backwards. So you're not meant to cheat and have affairs and things like that. You're meant to do it in a really clean and clear way. So that means it's either taking longer, or it's feeling more challenging, because it won't be as convenient to just hop into something different. Like, you're going to have to actually really truly put an end to certain patterns of whatever, codependency, or of other kinds of dependency, or just in general, you're going to have to put an end to what's comfortable in order to be available for what's right for you. And that is hard. You can't have your cake and eat it too, basically. Like, that's not really what you're meant to be doing. And I feel that some of you guys are meant to do work together. Like, you may not have a business together, you may not both be like front facing, but there is an element of like spiritual healing work, and just the relationship itself is quote unquote the work. Like, even if you never share your relationship in public, like what you're doing together is raising the vibration on the planet. Like, it's raising your own personal frequencies, and that affects everything around you and everybody around you. Wow, I really feel it in my chest today. I feel this like this pressure in my chest with this card of hiding. Like, it's getting really hard to hide your true feelings. And it's not fair. Like, if you're in a relationship, again, this isn't for everybody, so take it if it resonates. If you are in a relationship and you know that you're not meant to be there anymore, like you are not in love with your partner, even if they say they're in love with you, like, you just know that it's not the right relationship anymore. You've outgrown it. You've outgrown each other. The work you came to do together, the healing that you came to do together, it's like, it's basically done. Like, you've outgrown the soul contract. It's finished. It's like all you need to do is complete it and put an end to it. It's not kind to stay with a person when you don't love them anymore. I don't care if they tell you, you're the love of my life, but I'll never find anyone else, but I'll never love anyone, but I don't want to be alone. It's still unkind to be with a person and lie to them every day or live a lie. And that happens a lot because people don't want to be left alone. They don't want to be abandoned. They don't want to start over. It's too late. I'm too old or whatever for some people. Because I do work with a lot of people that are like in their 50s, late 50s. And that's a period where you get triggered. Because the scarcity kicks in and you're aging and you're like, it's too late. It's not too late. Like I said, Tom Kenyon and his partner didn't get together until their 50s. Because that was the correct divine time for them to get together. So it's not loving to stay with a person when you don't love them anymore. No matter what they say. My ex-husband didn't want me to leave him, and I knew it was the most loving thing. I did not want to live a lie every day, looking in this man's eyes, pretending like I cared in ways that I simply didn't feel anymore. And I know he cared a lot about me. And I cared about him too as a person, but I wasn't in love, and that's not fair. It's not loving, okay? And I'm really feeling it, like these eyes burning through. The pressure is building, and it's getting hard to pretend that you're happy anymore because your energy reads clearly to the people around you. So even if you're pretending to be in a good mood and you're not, they can feel it. When you're faking it in front of family and stuff, they can feel it. Your partner definitely feels it if you're in a relationship. They know damn well. Everybody knows. People always know. You know way before it happens. But you can dance around it and pretend, but I'm telling you right now, I don't know, you guys. It's feeling like things are changing for some of you out there, and it's gonna get really hard to keep the facade going if you're doing that. If you're not the one in a relationship and maybe you're alone, it's gonna be really hard to hide the truth of who you are. So maybe you need to start being more authentic in your life, in your work, in your business, whatever it is that you're doing. Because there are things that are meant for you that want to come in, but they can't come in while you're being, again, not your most authentic self. Those opportunities aren't coming to you right now, yet. That's another layer you need to sort of incorporate and integrate. More authenticity, more honesty, more transparency. It's going to feel edgy. It's going to feel harder because you're going to have to face rejection, judgment, opinions, people leaving, abandonment. But then it helps you align with everything that's meant for you. Whew. Yeah, there's a lot of energy today. Okay, I'm going to end it there because I can feel it all in my chest. I'm going to go outside now and go lay at the pool. I love you guys. I hope that resonated. I really hope that these messages are helping you. If you're not already, get on the wait list for my new membership that's opening up. Applications open June 15th. It's private, members only. You have to apply. Like I said, we'll be meditating, so there'll be a meditation practice every month to practice. There'll be a Telegram where I'm going to be like a broadcast channel where I'll be able to check in, drop in messages during the week, etc. All the details that are involved are on the page, so you can see if it's for rebels. It's not vanilla, it's not mainstream, it's not basic, it's not just love and light. It's rooted in Tibetan Buddhism and also me, my energy, my spiciness, my playfulness, my irreverence. So if it feels like the right fit, get on the wait list because that's the only way to apply. The link to apply won't be live. Again, it's called the Underground for a reason. So other than that, I'm sending you guys so much love. Everything else is in the links below, and I will see you in the next one.